What's up, everybody, and welcome. I forgot to turn off the music. Something goes wrong like once a stream. It's always once a stream, you know? How is everyone's Friday going? I had to ask, just to be nice, you know? I do care, though. What's up, everybody on Kick and YouTube? It's Boom Black. There's a difference, though. Boom Black is like pants, and he has buttons right here. These are shorts. These are overall shorts. I got these, and I got some bunny ones to wear for Easter. I was like, what's the thing coming up? My camera doesn't want to focus. It's like, what's the thing coming up? Pretty good. How about yourself? I'm doing great. Unfortunately, my daughter's sick today. Has been sick for a few days, so that's been a bummer. But I got this in the mail. Some of you know that when I put the Mr. Fantastic suit on for the first time, my daughter looked at me in such a way that I was like, well, now I have to go buy a full Spider-Man suit. And it came far quicker than I thought it would. Far quicker than I thought it would. So now I just have a full Spider-Man suit. The problem is, one, it's the 2024 Ultimate Spider-Man suit where he's like an old man and a father and stuff, because I thought that would be cool. Thought it was relatable. Two, I haven't been in the gym in a few days. I went this morning, but my daughter's been sick, and I was like, I'm going to need like a full-on 60 days in the gym before I put this on. The Mr. Fantastic suit is different. He's a rubber man. If he's a little pudgy in some places, I can pass it off as a rubber man. Spider-Man is much different. Spider-Man is a very iconic body shape, you know? It's much, much different. So then it'll be a few days before I put that on. Are you getting the rest of the Gojuju rings? Eagle and Unicorn are up on TOKU Collectibles. No! Absolutely not. I think I'm done with Gojuju merch for the time being. If you guys want to buy it, you can get 5% off, though. Let me type something in the YouTube chat real quick. If you want an ad-free experience, check out https://Achilles. I should really just get a bot to do this for me, but I wanted to pin it in the YouTube chat just in case anybody wanted to come over here. The Wolf to Caliber broke him for the toy line. No, it wasn't even that. The problem is the hand broke me. The Tegasword broke me. And I looked at the Tega June because I posted the short about the Tega June and everyone was talking about like how cool it looked. And I looked at it and I looked over at my Tegasword and I was just like, you won't get me again. You're not going to fucking get me again. The thumb is the culprit. The whole thing is the culprit. The whole Tegasword is bad, you know? Pop question, how many fingers does Zach have from MMPR? 4. I mean, 9, technically. Gojuju Sentai rings look like they're getting old. There's just like nothing to them is the problem. I thought it'd be cool to take the Tegasword with me to the convention this past weekend and like get Rangers to morph with it. By the way, if you're on YouTube or if you follow me on YouTube, become a member and you could see a video that I shot with a bunch of Power Rangers this weekend already. You get it first. But I thought it'd be a cool idea to have them morph with it. And I was like, oh, but I don't have any legend rings of theirs, of the people that are going to be there. And then I just looked at it and I was like, you're like too much to bring somewhere. The Boom Boom Changer is different because I could just grab it and go. The Tegasword, it's like pieces of you are going to get lost. Piece of you will pop off when I'm trying to get the other person to henshin with it. It's a task to henshin with it. It just wouldn't be fun. My Tegasword is beautiful now that I repainted it. It looks really good. They're gonna get you again. Maybe they will. Maybe with the eventual like other power up, they'll get me again. But for now, I think I'm good on Go Use Your Toys. In fact, we'll talk about some unfun stuff in this stream a little bit later with tariffs and things that will really affect my buying habits when it comes to Toku toys and probably affect yours too. So we'll get into the whole spiel of it. Don't worry. Goat Sentai Changer then? I don't know. I haven't done the Sentai Changer rankings yet. What is my favorite Sentai Changer? Probably not even the Osier Caliber. I like wrist changers. I like just simple wrist changers. Maybe the Thunder Rangers. I don't know. I don't know what they're called in Hurricane, but like the Thunder Rangers one is cool. What do I think the last Gabu form is going to be? We've seen it. We've seen it. We have pictures of it today, or a picture of it. Mine is Loki the Dawn Blaster, and I stand by that. I like the Geertlinger more than the Dawn Blaster for sure. All right, we got some stuff to talk about today. First up, I'm going to go through the schedule for next week. If you didn't know, Monday over on kick.com, we are going to watch the newest episodes of Gojuger and Gabu like we always do. And then whatever else is subbed, if something else comes out subbed, we'll watch that as well. Wednesday, I'm going to be here building the big ass Megazord. When I say I have 3 gigantic boxes right here, they're under everything. Actually, you know what? You can kind of see them right here, and then my gym bag is on top of them. But like everything from the floor to the gym bag, which is here, are... There we go. Everything down here to here, besides this too, these are all big boxes. That's the Megazord. We're going to be building the Megazord from Fan Home, which is like the big 2-foot Megazord. And I'm 100% going to put a cloak on it when I'm done building it. So that's going to be cool. And then Friday. Friday is Marvel Rivals Season 2. So Friday, get ready for some Emma Frost gameplay, baby. Because it's the Vanguard's time. I know we just got the thing, but it's the Vanguard's time again. People have been insta-locking. Even now, people will play DPS and insta-lock just DPS over and over again, like 3 or 4 every time I go in to quick play. Emma Frost is a Vanguard, baby. If somebody wants to insta-lock her and we still get 3 or 4 DPS, I will be very angry. But if anything, I'm going to be insta-lock here. But that's next Friday. Today, we're going to talk about some news. Because we got some news in the Tokusatsu sphere. We got some big news in the Tokusatsu sphere. You guys want to start out with the little stuff or the big stuff? Little stuff or the big stuff? Thoughts on the Switch 2 Nintendo Direct? Nintendo is like my least favorite console because like nothing ever comes there except for Nintendo games, and they just re-release things over and over and over again. And it like... not my cup of tea. With that said, I think the Switch 2 looks really cool. There's a lot of games in there that I was like, oh, I would play that. I would play that too. That looks great. But my Switch is literally here collecting dust, and I haven't played it in probably close to a year. Thinking of buying my first Sentai Changer and the little stuff. What are you buying? Global Kamen Rider is the big stuff that we will be talking about. I didn't know they have websites that you can check if stuff was AI generated. That's cool. The little stuff is obviously Overmaster. The bigger stuff is the Global Kamen Rider stuff. We'll talk about the big stuff a little bit. Let me give you guys just this timeline of things, all right? 2020 comes around. 2020 comes around. COVID hits. We're all stuck at home. And Tokushoutsu launches. Shout Factory decides, hey, we're going to be the people to bring Kamen Rider to the West. We're going to, I believe the first thing they did was Heisei Generations Forever. And we're going to show off Heisei Generations Forever. We're going to have this big deal with it. We're going to, do this big live stream with everybody watching all at the same time. We're going to have the actor of Woz introduce the movie and give away, I believe he gave away a signed Woz driver. Introduce the movie, give away the Woz driver. And it's going to be super sick. And everyone was stoked. And then they announced they're going to be subbing 01. And I was super sick. And it got released. We got the poster with it and everything. And then everything kind of died down for a little bit. And then we got the announcement that Kuga was going to be released. And then the announcement that Gates was going to release. And every time, it just kind of died down a little bit. Team Rider kind of came and went. They were not a part of Shout Factory, but they were part of the toy distributor. And they were like, hey, look at all this new stuff. They had a couple panels and showed off a few things like Fudo PI. All of that kind of came and went and petered out. And it's been a few years since we've gotten anything solid besides the Geats. Besides the Geats announcement. The Geats announcement was really cool, unexpected, out of nowhere, because we all kind of thought that Kamen Rider's US stint was dead by that point. Or at least on a big indefinite hold. Fast forward to yesterday, which, if you guys didn't know, was, I believe, the 55th anniversary of Kamen Rider. 55th anniversary. Today is the 50th anniversary of Sentai. But yesterday, quite early in the morning, we get this tweet from this brand new account called Kamen Rider Global. At the time, it was not verified. At Kamen Rider _EN. And it says, the wait is over. Official Kamen Rider Global account is here. Hashtag Kamen Rider. Hashtag Tokusatsu. And a lot of people got really excited. A lot of you were thrown into the Discord and said, look, Hawk, official Kamen Rider, 54th anniversary. I'm sorry. You were like, look, official Kamen Rider Twitter account. And I had my drawbacks, or I had my, assumptions, but I was like, I'm going to leave it be. I'm going to wait till something like concrete, because every time I looked, nobody was retweeting it. No official account or anything. A couple hours later, Tokushoutsu retweets it. Okay, that's an official source. That's one, but I feel like we need two. So I'm waiting. And then the account gets suspended. The official Kamen Rider English account gets suspended. And I thought to myself, well, that kind of seals the deal on it. Don't know why it got suspended, but okay. And then late last night, hours after it got suspended, it popped back up, luckily, and it was verified, which, being verified on Twitter used to mean something. Now, kind of not as much. But at that point, it got retweeted by the official Kamen Rider Twitter. It said, announcement, the Kamen Rider Global account is now live. Please follow for all Kamen Rider news and updates. And the account itself quote tweeted that with a little tongue in cheek and said, and we're back. Thank you for all your support in helping to reactivate the official Kamen Rider Global account. Please stay tuned for all things Kamen Rider. In the meantime, we will go investigate who was behind this. You can make a ton of jokes that Twitter, Elon, shocker, took down the official Kamen Rider Twitter account. And they would all make sense. They would all make sense. And I would give you a high five, because that is who took it down. But I think there's a bigger picture in this that a lot of people kind of skipped over, is that 2 days ago, we had this. We went over this on stream. The Deadline interview with CEO and Toei president Fumio Yoshimura. where he specifically talks about bringing Toei productions to the West. Partnering with people in the West for distribution of Toei productions. And how also he says, quote, we also want to look at how we expand our existing tokusatsu special effects franchises, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Power Rangers. This has always been Toei's forte, and we're hoping to expand these properties. So do I think it's a coincidence that 2 days after this came out, we get an official English Kamen Rider Twitter account? Absolutely not. Now, am I Twitter's biggest fan? No. Twitter absolutely fucking sucks, and if you're on it, get off it for your brain and your mental health. But I also understand that, like, Twitter is where stuff happens. Twitter is where Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race before anywhere else. Before any other news outlet knew, he posted that shit on Twitter. Twitter is like a hub for this niche that we have. There's no place else where you can get the news and everything as quickly as Twitter for tokusatsu stuff. It's just how it is. So it's cool that we have a English Twitter account for Kamen Rider. What's even cooler is that this is a actual effort by the people at Toei to expand Rider and Sentai into the West. Now, Sentai, there might be a bigger problem because, like it says right here, it's Power Rangers also rolled up into there. So it might be a much bigger problem to get Sentai over, but at least we have a starting point with Rider. What's up, Brian? And when I say starting point, it sounds like we're just starting, and it may be a little bit behind the ball, but through the time that I've been here, people have told me certain things. People have come and talked to me about certain things. One of those things that I know to be true is that there is a more recent Kamen Rider season sitting on a hard drive somewhere, fully dubbed in English. I have talked to a voice actor who has told me they worked on it and has told me this is a thing and the lines were completed. So, like, that is out there. And this is just one that I know about. I can't imagine how many they might have out there like that, or how many they might have ready to go when they're ready to go. So no matter what we get, whether it be dubbed Rider in some form, or if we get just subbed Rider brought over in some official form that may not even be simulcasted, maybe weeks, maybe months after, or Blu-rays after it airs. Because the way Tokusatsu does it is Tokusatsu has to pay for those rights, and then they get handed the masters, they get them subbed and everything. If this stuff comes directly from Toei, it will be much faster, much easier to get your hands on, and much more complete than we have now. Fuck, enters as leaker art. It's been a long enough time. Like, when I say recent, I don't mean like Reiwa era. I'll say that. So it's been enough time that since I've talked to this person that, like, yeah, I'll just put it out there. But the other thing about this is that what are these shows? These shows are firmly toy commercials. Which means if they want to show you these shows, then they are doing it for a reason. And that is for you and me and everyone else to buy the toys. To buy the toys. To buy all this cool plastic that I have behind me. Cheaper Toku toys delivery. You would think so. You would think so, because the big thing standing in their way, and the craziest part about all this, because Toei's timing has never been great at all. And once again, something is moving the goalpost, and that is Donald Trump's tariffs on Japan. And when I say this is a big deal, I don't want you guys to misconstrued what I'm saying. This is a global fucking deal where it's not only going to affect your Toku toys, it's going to affect Transformers, it's going to affect G.I. Joe, it's going to affect every piece of plastic that you or your little brothers have in their house or little sisters. Nintendo just announced the Switch 2. Everyone's super excited about the Switch 2. Nintendo has had to put off pre-orders for the Switch 2 because in preparation for these tariffs, Nintendo and a bunch of other computer and technology people moved their distribution centers, their factories out of Japan and China into Taiwan. And Taiwan got a bigger tariff than Japan and China. That is why Nintendo had to put off pre-orders for the Switch 2. So it impacts such a gigantic, stalwart company such as Nintendo that it will affect Toku toys in the West. And we are already seeing it happen. Let me go over and find him on Twitter. If you know Kotetsu Toys Japan, he's already talking about how he's going to have to close down his shop because he can't do with the tariffs. Kotetsu. I don't even know how to spell it. Kotetsu Toys. Let's see. He talks about it in a tweet. I want to find it so I can like round out this whole thing. What if I just put TOKU Toys Japan? There we go. Only for the USA, yes. They say the countries are going to pay, but let's be real, there's going to raise prices on average Joe. Oh, prices are already being raised everywhere. Prices are already being raised. All right, this is a tweet from Taka. He runs Kotetsu Toys Japan. It says, this is really starting to look like a real possibility that exports from Japan to the US will become impossible for small stores like me. I didn't expect to lose my job so suddenly. I'll continue my store as much as I can, but I don't know what will happen in the future if tariffs and other export rules to the US become any stricter. And Taka is like, runs an incredible store where if you want to find like very niche or very old stuff in tokusatsu, Kotetsu Toys Japan has it. Kotetsu Toys rules. And just like that, he's not going to be able to do with these tariffs. Yes, it's for the US only. The US has enacted these tariffs on Japan. This is why, even though the pre-orders for the Switch 2 are pushed back for the US, Nintendo might very possibly just take those pre-orders from the US and shift them to the UK so that the UK can get all that product. Reciprocal tariffs that match how Japan's been tariffing us. Japan is our friend and will eventually stop their tariffs. We don't know. That's the thing. I don't trust anyone in chat or myself to have like any, economic, I can't even get the word out, any economic degree of any kind. But what I do know is that everything I've read so far from like people that do have economic degrees is that this is a whole new territory and we don't know where it's going. And a lot of people are freaking out about this stuff. So in this global scale of things, I'm just trying to bring it way down to the little pinhole that is the niche of tokusatsu and tell you guys that like, yeah, your toys are going to get more expensive. You're going to see prices go up across the board from these things. It's already happening in certain things. I've already seen places, computer makers and stuff, or people that make computers for you and ship them out, tell you that they are going to raise their price across the board. Costume makers say it. Fabric places are saying it. Across the board for everything. So it will fuck over average people. But like I said, in these terms, where we buy this kind of plastic, it is very crazy that the English / Western US expansion of Kamen Rider will come on the heels of all this stuff happening. Of all these tariffs being inactive. And like I said, TikTok was supposed to be banned tomorrow. It's been pushed back. TikTok was supposed to be banned 3 months ago. That was pushed back. We are literally living day by day in this crazy fucking world that we're in. So anything could happen. The tariffs could be gone tomorrow. They could be here till December. Literally no one knows. We just got to keep informed by it. I think it's all stupid. We just got to keep informed by it. But if you see your TOKU toys go up in price, especially if you live in the US, I don't know how much this will affect other places, but if you live in the US and you're on, TOKU Collectibles or Buy or HLJ, anywhere you buy Tokusatsu toys, if you see them go up in price, understand that that's why. If you pay more for I know 2 people going to Japan in the next couple months, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, bring me back this final form. Bring me back Gabu's final form. Other countries look very appealing right now, not gonna lie. There's lots of places that look great. Trust me. That's how I'm getting my TOKU toys for the next couple months. I know people going to Japan, I'm just gonna be like, bring me back this. My wife's going in June. I'm like, hey, Gabu's final form, Ram's final form. Heck, get me Frappe too. Stuff is already expensive for us, but I mean, free healthcare is a good trade-off. That's true. Shout out Canada. I mean, it's kind of sort of hard not to make it sort of political when tariffs affect everything. That, and I wouldn't say it's a political statement personally. It's fact. Oh, 100%. It's just life at this point. It's just life at this point. But like I said, it does tie into the stuff we talk about here and the stuff we do here. So that is the other side of this US expansion, that Toei is going to try to sell toys over here. There's just no way they can't, because that's what these shows are for. They're not going to give you the shows unless you got the toys coming with it, because that's where you make the money off of it. That's where you make the money off of it. Do I know who they're going to partner with, if they're going to do some kind of streaming service? No. I've seen everybody want that stuff. I would love that personally. A Toei streaming service where you can get me Sentai and Rider for the past 55 years, please. Please. A Bix Zax? What is a Bix Zax? Is that a snack? Oh, it is a snack. Okay. Dude, all my stuff has gone up. Trust me. I tell you guys, I eat like 6 eggs every morning. I used to get probably 12 eggs for like $4. Now they're $1 per egg. How much do you think the Western toys will be? I think you'll probably pay about like around $100 for a driver, because new drivers are usually like $70 to $80-ish dollars. I think they'll probably be about $100, especially if it's like a 24% tariff, right? It would be cool because it's hard to find Kamen Rider stuff and where to watch. Oh, 100%. It would be great. All that stuff is just, like I said, up in the air. All we know so far, and this is all just theorizing, because all we know so far is that we now have an English global Kamen Rider Twitter account for updates. And the only thing they've tweeted so far is the wait is over. What we were waiting for, what they think we were waiting for, we have yet to see. Could we see Toei putting out subs themselves now, or do they still want a payday from Shout or someone else? I think this is Toei doing it themselves. I think this Toei partnering with someone instead of selling it off to Discotheque or Shout. I think they want to partner with someone so that they can keep it a little more close to the chest, and they can be the ones, because it's all about Toei's expansion. That's what that article was about. And partnering with people to partnering, the way it's worded in there as partnering, makes me think it's them doing it themselves with a distributor here in the US, rather than selling it off, franchising it by season like they have in the past to Shout Factory. Just got into it recently, like 2 months ago. I started with 01 last month and finished XA today. I don't know where to go next. I've been keeping up with Gabu stuff while it airs. Did you like XA? That is my question. And did you like 01? Because that'll make me point you where to go. Actually, no, this is really easy. If you liked X8 or if you like 01 and you liked X8 as well, both of those series are written by the same writer who has written a third series, Kamen Rider Geats, which is also free on YouTube from Shout Factory and is incredible. So go watch Geats. That dude's written 3 Kamen Rider series, and I will ride the hardest for Geats. I love X8. 01, not my cup of tea, but if you love it, you love it. It's a lot of people's introduction. Geats is the Kamen Rider show. Kamen Rider Dragonite Season 2, baby. There's people in my short being like, they better do it better than the first time. Better not be another Dragonite. And I was like, I don't think it's going to be an adaptation like that. I don't think it's going to be like a Power Ranger style adaptation. In fact, I'm pretty sure Toei hates that. I'm pretty sure they would just sub or dub what they already have. Kamen Rider 01 is my favorite. Out of the two, XA was good, but it had iffy moments. Yeah, watch Geats. I watched Gabu and Geats, but where should I go after that? So anyone with this question of like, where should I go? Which rider should I watch? My advice is to look up all the suits online, look up all the main rider suits and go that one. Whichever one you think is the coolest, go to that one. Because I think every series has something for someone. And give it like 3 or 4 episodes. And if you don't like it right off rip, you can always switch to something else. Gabu, I don't want to say where I stand yet because it's still going, but I've loved what I've caught up to. Dude, could you imagine if Gabu has been just so like insanely balls to the walls good at this point? And then like this crescendo just happened this past week and then it just goes down and it's just the shittiest show ever after this. Maybe we'll get the subs uploaded to the YouTube channel where they upload Raws. Dude, I hope so. That would be cool. I think YouTube would be a good avenue because you can make ad money and stuff. And like, I also, don't get me wrong, I also think, do I watch Double or Build first? Watch Double first. Build and Gaim are incredible. Build and Gaim, I will always recommend. I don't want that to be people's first. I think you need to watch like 2 or 3 seasons before you watch Build or Gaim because you have to know what those seasons are subverting. Sorry. The YouTube thing, I think, is a good idea. I think YouTube makes good ad revenue. I think YouTube would be a good ad revenue place for these shows. I don't know if a lot of companies want to do that because they see it as free instead of like, oh, I need, like, it makes great ad revenue. I think they'll see it as, oh, but then we're putting it up for free. The other thing is, I do think that Toei saw Ultraman and what Tsuburaya has been doing for the past 4 or 5 years and go, we could do that. There is some place to get in here. There is some place to get in here. And I think Tsuburaya has been like trailblazing and leading the way. Crazy. It's what's funny is people like Ultraman so much less than Rider 2. So if Toei decided to just do what Ultraman did, but with Rider, where it's like simulcasted, simuldubbed, put it up for everyone to see, given Tsuburaya has a much easier schedule. They don't do it every week. They 25 episodes per Ultraman and they take months off. But if Toei were to do it that way, they would blaze past everybody in a heartbeat. Why do most secondary riders have trauma or been traumatized? All of them do. That's part of being a Kamen Rider. Achilles hates Forze. Hey, there's been worse things than Forze recently. there's been worse things than Forze that have come out. People say Build is amazing, but that's why I don't want to watch it till later, so I don't compare everything to Build, if that makes sense. If it's truly that amazing. I think if you're watching Gabu right now, you can wait on Build. You've like got that experience already. I think if anyone watches Build right now, they'll be like, oh, that's kind of like Gabu. Oh, that's kind of like Gabu. And like you already have Gabu going on. Speaking of Gabu, you guys want to see Gabu's final form? You guys want to see Overmaster Gabu? Let me pull this dumb idiot up. I gave you your spoiler warning. Gave you your spoiler warning. Now you get spoiled. Let me zoom out. This is Don't adjust your TV sets, your phones, your computers, whatever you watch me on. This is not Build Rabbit Rabbit just recolored. This is Over Master Gabu, one of 2 Gabu final forms that we are getting. The other one being Over Gabu. This is Over Master Gabu. Does he look like a bunny rabbit? Yes. Does he have a funny little hat on right here? Yes. Do these colors match up with the Gochizo that we saw the other day? Which is right here, the Gachapod. Yes. From all this, we can surmise that, yeah, man, we have seen these final forms before. And I think I'm very much in the vein of like, if your final form mirrors or just steps up your base form, then you've done it. Then you've done it and you're good. And that's what is happening here. This is just a sicker form of Gabu. Look at how the eyes go into the ears this way. Do I know what the motif is? Do I know what he's based off of? Drago says a peep, and that would be fucking incredible. If he was just a peep, that would be incredible. Stegosaurus! What an amazing time for you to join. Thank you for the follow. Stegosaurus, if you don't know, the person who made this beautiful Zenkaiser helmet back here, I want to know what you think of this helmet. I want to know what you think of this helmet, buddy. What's up, Wolf Ninja Aaron? More like a kangaroo? Dude, what's so funny is that everyone was like, Gabu's a kangaroo. When Gabu first came out, my first thought, and like a bunch of people were like, Gabu's a kangaroo. And then they were like, no, he's a gummy bear. And I was like, well, I'm an idiot because the gummy bear makes far more sense. And then I look at this and I was like, was Gabu a kangaroo all along? Were we fucking wrong? All Reiwa final forms aside from Saber match the original. It literally is just a repaint of the original. He's a bunny like Sento. This is built too. Have to see more of it. It's no K-King. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. K-King, still the best one out of all of these. K-King is still the best form out of all of these. Peep is a good one. Dunkaroos is hilarious. Kamen Rider Dunkaroos. Let's go, baby. In the 2 drawings we saw a couple weeks ago, I will say Overmaster wasn't my favorite. I liked Over Gabu way better. He's the one that looks like the big fucking Hulk. So I can't wait to see what he looks like. This is interesting. I really want to know what the little hat is that he has up front. And it's funny that this just, it's shade. Probably it's his monster theme. That is true. He could just be a rabbit monster or a kangaroo monster. But I do think this has something to do with stomach because it's like, it's just the Stomach Inc. logo. It's a visor? No, I know it's a visor. It's just funny that it's a little hat. Seeing the colors and stuff though, and the like gold running through here, I'm far more excited to see the actual suit now than I was when we saw the drawings. I don't know why. People keep sketching stuff, and like that's how we've gotten leaks for the past 3 shows. And every time I'm like, oh, these sketches look great. But Gabu's sketches particularly haven't been hitting for me. The Frappe custom one didn't hit. The Blizzard Sorbet, I wasn't like, this is incredible. The K-King one, I was like, this is pretty cool. But Gabu's sketches have been like lacking this 3D-ness that the suits have that make them look really cool. Bake's sketch was wild. And then Bake came out and was still dog shit. And then Bake came out and was terrible. I thought it was a bat. That makes sense. I can definitely see bat here. Also, I didn't realize, but is the YouTube chat not showing up on the screen? There it is. It just shows up late. It just shows up later than I'm saying it. The Frappe one was orange and ugly, not gold and gorgeous. I know, and like the Frappe one had the sick, or the Frappe suit has the sick texture that the sketch didn't have. Frappe is such a better suit than I thought it was going to be from the sketches. I would keep saying that the Over Master leaks reminded me of the Gaze Revive is in its concept. It's so cool. I love the little flipping revolve on thing. I just realized looking at this right now that the Gabu's mouth is open so much. Like, that is not the normal way that mouth opens. It's open so much farther than it usually is. Is this form better than 02? I haven't seen all of it yet, so I can't say it. I would love to. And honestly, if it's like right there, I'll probably say 100% yes, because like I don't like 01 that much. But 02 at the time is just the time it came out, I was like, this is incredible. This is amazing. I wish Gabu had a Hanami Dango form. The Gochizo has 3 faces and a stick. And oh, what's a Hami Dango? Hanami Dango. Oh, is this one? It's the one that they based the fake Sachika drawing off of. That makes sense. Bake has been the really been the only doo-doo suit in Gabu. Dude, and then Baki Baki stick looks bad too. Baki Baki stick also looks dog shit. It looks so bad I thought it was a legend suit at first. Over Gabu might be hard candy because one of the fists. Dude, that would be sick. If he's like a Jawbreaker. I know Jawbreaker was one that a lot of people were like thinking about at the beginning. Whoa, Baki Baki stick looks mean. Blech. Baki Baki stick looks terrible. The funniest part is, like, we still haven't seen it yet. This fool died on this episode. Suga's like bleeding out on the ground, dying, and I was just like, where's Baki Baki stick at? Weren't we supposed to get this at some point? Which means that there has to be a bitter Gabu left. He has to eat a new food. He has to be excited enough to go eat a new food, poop out a Baki Baki stick, and go, I like this one. I went pudding a la mode of lamb. Ram has some hard forms. It's funny that he hasn't used jelly in a while. Or not jelly. What's the other one? Yeah, jelly, right? I haven't watched Gabu yet, only because I feel like I need to watch Build first. Oh, no. You do not need to watch Build first. Trust me. Get into Gabu right now. Marathon through Gabu and then come watch it with us on Mondays on Kick, because it is probably the most fun I've had watching Kamen Rider in a very long time. I loved Geats, for the record, and I don't think I loved Geats as much as I love Gabu. Like, this is going to crack top 3 if it keeps going how it's going. Do you think that we'll see a new rider at the end of the show, like what they did with Gabu? You mean like what they did with Geats? 100%. I think introducing a new rider in the last like 5 episodes is just their shit now. Marshmallow might be my least favorite suit out of all the suits. I can see that. I don't think it's a bad suit. All the suits have grown on me for sure. Or someone new is bitter Gabu. I think the nature of the Gabu driver won't let that happen. Question is, what will his power be? We all know the final form of Reiwa has a special ability that is broken. He'll probably just control. He'll just control everything. He'll just be another god. What even is sticks? I thought they were supposed to be fries. Oh no, it's like little breadsticks. They have those as like snackies. They're 2 different stories and they take place in the same universe. Build? No, Build doesn't take place in the Gabuverse. Rip Chogodon form. I hope you never see Chogodon form again. I hope Hanto is smart enough to be like, I never have to use Chogodon again. Because Shoma, hell of a not smart enough to be like, oh, I should just use Blizzard Sorbet right off rip. This fool was eating ice cream for 6 episodes straight and still was like, I should use Cake King. Boom. Like, bro, just go into Blizzard Sorbet. All you've been eating is ice cream. Maybe revert dark treats into humans. That would be crazy. if he could just like actually put them back together from the dark treats. Imagine how it would be if Shoma met Batman. Your parents are dead too? And Shoma's like, yeah, but like one of them was bad. Bruce is like, it's okay. We're both orphans. Hanto's just on the chair. He's like, not again. Not again. First with Bram, now with Batman? Isn't there one bitter Gabu unaccounted for? I keep seeing people say that. And like, there's scans where like a bitter Gabu is there. So like, yes, but I don't know where people are getting that from. Orphan Club. Trying to say they don't take place in the same universe. Yes, they don't take place in the same universe. They're really good. Both of them are really good on their own too. Gabu is much more personal than Build is, I feel like, in some aspects. Build is about war, which is the best part about it. Kamen Rider final villain because Longo is a pushover. Longo is like, what do you mean my whole family's dead? Longo just has no idea what's happening by the end of the series. They deal with Longo in a V cinema because they couldn't get him in the normal series. I meant a tease for the new main rider at the end of the show. Oh, yes, 100%. They do that every year. They do that in the movies. Every year you'll see the new rider pop up in the movie and help somebody. He'll probably help Sachika. We know Bitter Shoma dead and his new form, who is using Bitter Gabu now? That's the thing. People don't use Bitter Gabu. That's like his belly. You can't give it to somebody else. So there has to be a Bitter Gabu there, or Bitter Shoma there somewhere. Didn't Zuga have two bitters an episode or two back? But oh yeah, that's right. When Hanto caught him, there were two bitters there, but Ram only killed one of them. So that makes sense. Summer movie during the final act. Yeah, somebody will be doing something and then somebody will... You know what's funny is the summer movie that got me the most to watch a new rider is I was watching Double, and I was watching Double's movie, A to Z Guy Memories Forever, some long ass name, whatever Double's movie is. I was watching that and I had zero interest in watching O's until this fool came across the screen and one of his medals were rolling and he like had to grab it. And I was like, well, fuck, I'll watch O's. Hell yeah. I had zero interest in watching O's until that happened. And I was like, shit, I'm on board. All right. You got me. I even thought O's had a dumb, ugly suit. And I was like, all right. Don't know who this Iji guy is, but he looks cool. Does Gaim take place in the same universe as Saber, or is it Ghost? It depends on if... They all just take place when they want them to. They'll write anything in. Wish Chokehold looked more different if Hanto was going to use it a bunch. Yeah, I'm okay. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm okay with them saving money on. I'm glad... I will say this. I'm super glad that none of the Gochizos have been PNGs. Because that shit would have made me mad. How long does it take to marathon Gabu? What is it on? Episode 30 now? They're 22 minutes apiece. So like 10 hours? A little more than 10 hours? A to Z Gaia Memories Forever is a great summer movie. I agree. That movie fucking rules. Too bad the package of the Bake Magnum spoiled some stuff about Bitter Gabu. What does it spoil? Baki Baki? Kamen Rider Multiverse is confusing, so believe me. Hey, it's not Fate, which is good. All right? Why do you always want to focus on my helmets? It's not Fate, which is great. I still don't know if Fake, whatever the new one is called, if the second episode is out yet. Because I watched the first episode, and that shit said second episode comes out 4 months later. And I was like, well, guess I'm not watching another Fate series. Kamen Rider Black manga had a Devilman type ending. I kid you not, the Black manga is way different from the show. So is the Kuga manga. The Kuga manga has Agito in it. The Bitter Gabu uses the Magnum? Does he? I still don't know if my brother got me the Bake Magnum. I have to call him and ask him. Oh, hey, they subbed the Gojuger transforming combining lesson. The transformation lesson on the cat site. Shout out Igo. Doesn't really mean they take place in the same universe. If that's the case, that means Ghost takes place in the same universe. Yeah, like I said, whenever they need it to take place in the universe, it will. I guess Build and X8 cross universes, right? Like the movie very clearly states that they jump universes to go meet the other one. And Shoichi tries to off himself? What is this from? Any opinion if the 10th Railroad Rider is going to be cheap ass Decade or Geo? Dude, it's so funny. I was thinking about the anniversary talk that they were having. Hey, what's up, Ninja Inferno? Is that what it is? Ninja it's Ninja now. What's up, Ninja? Thanks. I was remembering the Gojuger like anniversary stuff that they were doing, and I was watching that video again, and I was like, dog, why is Decade here? Decade should be telling no one what an actual anniversary is, because Decade is not an actual anniversary. Do we understand this? Decade is the 10-year anniversary of when Kamen Rider started in the Heisei era. That's like 3 asterisks next to it. It's like, but you know nothing. Why are you here? You're an anniversary of nothing. You're not even an anniversary of the Heisei era. You're the anniversary of when Kamen Rider started in the Heisei era. Asterisks, asterisks, asterisks. I thought this shit was so funny. And they should have just waited on Legend. They should have just waited for the 10-year anniversary for Legend, or the 10-year anniversary of the Reiwa era for Legend. Because at least the Reiwa era of Kamen Rider started in like the same year that the Reiwa era started. Does that make sense? I'm just yelling now. I'm just yelling now. Ninja Mini Fro. Oh, that's way cooler. I don't know why I read Inferno. Will we ever get the Neo Decade driver? Yeah, because Toei likes money. Coming in late was the topic. We were talking about the Kamen Rider global expansion. Tsukasa in Legends World is not the same from the main series in also Geo. Tsukasa is a Nazi, so he's just passing through. Let him be. Everything about that special is funny, dude. It's so good. I love it, but at the same time, I watch it, I'm like, Decade, why are you here? I made fun of Legend the whole time, the first time we watched it on stream, and then I'm watching it, realizing Decade's an anniversary of nothing. Why are you here? I think Toei doesn't understand the definition of anniversary. It's always different. What's going on in the global with Kamen Rider? They made their own Twitter. They made an English Twitter. And then they got banned or suspended. And then they came back. And now we have official confirmation that, yes, this is officially an English Twitter for Kamen Rider run by Toei, retweeted by the actual Kamen Rider Twitter account. And I was tying that in with the Deadline article 2 days ago from Toei's CEO and president saying, hey, we want to expand all of our stuff globally. And also, guess what? Japanese tokusatsu special effects, that's kind of our shit. So, like, we want to do more of that. And so I'm like, yes, let's go. But also, hey, tokusatsu shows are about toys. And guess what? Tariffs are a thing now. There's a lot of tariffs going out. So a lot of uncertainty in the world of economics and toys and collector toys. And I guarantee you a lot of toys. This is far more outstretched than tokusatsu toys. A lot of your toys are about to get a lot more expensive if this goes on further than, what we think it will. What's up, Skylander and Baja? Welcome. Are they trying to compete with Ultraman? I very much think they saw what Ultraman is doing and thought, hey, people like us more than Ultraman. We should do that. What do you think of Masahiro Inoue as an actor? He rules. Masahiro Inoue rules. For all the bad stuff that I say about Decade, and like, you got to understand, I marathon Decade. I'm not shitting on him. For all the bad things I say about Decade, you guys got to understand, I watched Decade, marathon through it here on stream, many hours long, got to the end, and realized, oh, it's dog shit? Like, why? Why do people hype this up when this is the ending? So everything bad I have to say about Decade is combined with, one, we were raising money for people that got scammed by someone. Two, is that I had watched it all at once and it was like 5 a.m. when we finished. Did you already talk about Toei not having anything to do with the Power Rangers reboot series? Yeah, that was in that Deadline article too. Toei finally realized they can make money. Unfortunately, it's the worst time. They're like, we can make money. It's just going to cost us far more money. This is why Toei needs to catch up with Tsuburaya. Dude, I guaranteed Toei, the minute Toei decides to actually put their best foot forward, the way that Tsuburaya is doing it, they're going to shuttle rocket past him. Because people like, it's unfortunate truth, but like people like Kamen Rider more than they like Ultraman. How do you feel about this Nintendo Switch 2 and its games? I am excited for it. I don't think I'll buy it for a while because just even the base price of it is expensive. But I still love it. I think the Mario Kart looks super cool. There's what is it called? Drift and Drive, something like that. Whatever the Why am I blanking on this? The wheelchair basketball game looks really cool. Any predictions for the announcement Sentai can make today? Today is technically yesterday in Japan. Or today is technically, yesterday in Japan. So any announcements they would have made for Sentai's anniversary would have been done yesterday. So the answer is nothing. Never liked Decade show, but I always love seeing Decade make appearances in other writer shows and movies. Oh, 100%. Decade and Ghost, and there's probably a few other writers, but of the ones I've seen, Decade and Ghost are way cooler in every other thing that's not their own thing. When they're in other people's stuff, 100% cooler. But like I watched that movie, like Decade's summer movie, and I'm like, Decade is the leader of Shocker in that movie, and then doesn't stop being the leader of Shocker out of his own like goodness of his heart. He gets kicked out and decides he wants revenge on Shocker. Like, he doesn't stop being a Nazi. The Nazis kick him out of being a Nazi. And so I was watching that, already annoyed that, like, how long the season was. Like, we were raising money and everything. I was doing giveaways. And it was just like, all that combined, the lights on, and I was just tired. And I was like, this show sucks. I believe Decade Season series isn't really finished, if I'm not mistaken, or rushed maybe. It gets finished in a movie that's not very good. He's too good, we gotta kick him out. He's too good of a Nazi. He's gotta go. He's a better Nazi than the rest of Shocker. Let's kick him out. Hi, August Onyx. What's up, Onyx? They are AOR World episodes are fun, but we can all agree that Decade's story is so undercooked and is trash. We like Decade as a writer and Tsukasa being a badass. Oh yeah, I think it's funny because the only other Heisei show I had watched before that was Kabuto. And when the Kabuto episodes came up, I was like, if this was my introduction to Kabuto, I would have not watched Kabuto. But I think the early episodes of Decade are really cool. And then you get to the end and when the actual writer actors come back, I forgot which one it is, but it's somebody from Blade, I think. When the actual actors come up, I was like, what the fuck is happening in the show? Why are we doing this? And that's like the whole last half of Decade is like, why are we doing this? Ghost and Drive was amazing. That shit tricked me. I saw Ghost and Drive and I was like, this is amazing. And then he was just not that. Kabuto is top tier. I love Kabuto. Do you think they will end up making this the first Reiwa writer without a female writer? We have 01 Saber, Revice. I don't know why I thought Revice. Sakura's right there. Nagits. I hope not, but the way things are going right now, I could see it being that way. It's so shitty because like the way the story is right now in Gabu, and I know we have like 20 episodes left, but the way the story is going, I'm like, yeah, we're good. We don't need any other writers. Like the Granoots can be the villain. Longo is set up to be the big bad. Just 100, like he killed his mom. He killed Hanto's mom. He's the leader of Stomach Inc. We have it so laid out perfectly we have these 3 main writers. We have these amazing sport casts. We don't need a female writer. But then I think back and I'm like, but why not? Why don't we have a female writer? You know? It's just cool and it makes it. And I know Sachika's right there to do it, but the things that this show has told us we need to have to be a writer, like I don't want Sachika to go through that stuff. And that's a bummer. Because like I love female writers. I would love every show to have a female writer, but we're at the point in this show where I'm like, you're just good the way you are. Sometimes I forget that the show was about fighting Nazis, where recently we got Spanish demons, weirdly realistic AI, and of course the family of drug dealers. And we started out 54 years ago yesterday as fighting Nazis. Ugh, Nazis. Has anyone seen those clips of the robot, GI robot, something like that? Sachika doesn't need it to be important. I agree. The same way Masora didn't need it to be important. But I look at it and I'm like, but shouldn't we just have girl writers? Like, why not? You know? It's one of those things where I'm mad that they wrote the story as good as it is right now, because I'm not like begging for a girl writer. What's up, Galaxy Fang? Who would be a good crossover for Gabu? Build. Introduce all 4 boyfriends to each other. I'm okay with Sachika never being a writer, but this would be a step back, I think. That's the gist of it. Sorry. That's what I'm trying to say in better terms. Is like, I'm really okay with her not being a writer because the story right now, she is so much better not as a writer. But like, man, it feels like a step back to not have a girl writer. No new news on Zetsu yet. Sachika's too good of a bean to go through something fucked up. She's too precious. That's what I'm saying. Like, you need surgery at this point to become a writer. If you're a human, you got to get surgery. And other than, which I can totally see happening, other than Suga kidnapping her and forcing her into it, which I can absolutely see happening, I don't think she becomes a writer. If we get a female writer in Gabu, it has to be Sachika. It's shown enough that she wishes to help more. Yeah, I think the only way she becomes Bake or her own writer, or like she even becomes more of a Granite than Hanto is. Plus her spot in the opening. But we did have Mai and Saber, who also had that spot in the opening and the ending, and just never became a writer. Feel like we might get a female writer until the end, like Gio, and might be another female character. Dude, I would. The worst thing they could do is pull a Gio with Tsukiyomi with Sachika. Isn't Suga dead now? I mean, we've seen Bake in scans of upcoming episodes. So like, we don't know. On a surface level, I want a Gaim and Gabu crossover. Ooh, that's a better one. You're right. You're right. They both eat fruits and food. That would be sick. Have you watched Precure or any Magical Girl series? I've watched Madoka Magica and like Sailor Moon when it came out 20 years ago, and that was it. Never watched a Precure. What about Jeep's wife? She's a Granite. It'll be the next Child Bride. She'll be the next writer. I mean, she's a Granite, and she has nothing to do with. I think that's going to be the point of the things coming up. Of like, Jeep's wife is the president's daughter. Like the actual president of the Granite's daughter has nothing to do with Stomach, and like is above board on everything. So like Jeep going straight laced or whatever, or has more power than his siblings because they're like crime bosses, and Jeep just married the president's daughter. Do we have any exciting writer news to cheer me up today? Yeah, they're going global, baby. Zetsu should be a female writer. That would be so sick. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but if they did a female main writer, I'd be so hyped on it. You know what the new mobile game, mobile game called Kamen Rider Defense Warriors? Ooh, that is a thing. I haven't seen anything from it besides like the picture of 01 that they're like, look, here it is. But I don't know what it is. I just know it's a mobile game. Did anybody ever play Ride Commons, or is that just gone now? I think Nielva's gonna be baked to replace Suga. That would be sick. I would love for Nielva to do fucking anything. I want to bake Magnum recolored to look like a Gabu revolver. Buy it and do it. Just spray paint it. They're real easy. The difference between Mei and Sachika in the opening is that Sachika has the bubble where the rider would be, while Mei didn't have something implying that. I mean, she was literally just shown with the primary, with saber and blades when they're dancing at the ending. Like it's the three of them, and then you go and Espada's there on everything, but Mei is in front of him on everything. Photo of Jeep and her sitting on a gray couch, and it's so weird. I can't wait for this weekend to see like where they go, because now we're wrapped up the Shoma Hanto storyline, and I know scans have said the next month is going to be about Hanto and Vram's relationship, and I think that's really cool, because they could have just skimmed right over it and been like, Hanto's a part of the team again, Vram is a part of the team again, but it's like, no, these two still have shit to work out, and I think that's cool. If we get a female rider in Gabu, what would be her snack? I don't know many Japanese snacks. Who do you think will be? Oh, Pocky. Give her Pocky. Who do you think will be the final boss? Longo, the president, or are we going to get like Baron's? I think it has to be Longo. There's no way in the world they go anywhere but Longo, because if you introduce someone new, he just like doesn't, unless there's like one way to do it that it's not Longo, and it's resurrect Zom. You resurrect Zom, the dude who made Dark Treats, like the dude who first set this whole thing in motion, then you got a new final boss. But Shoma has so much emotional stakes tied to Longo that it has to be Longo. Someone will get exposed and the rest of society will have their heads. I would love that. Remember when we thought the Deadmans were going to run the gauntlet and like be the final bosses of Revice, and then episode 12, they just all get arrested? their base crashes and they all get arrested episode 12, and it's like, all right, where do we go now? It's funny that Global Common Rider account got back later, and now they're looking for the cause of the ban. They're not really looking for the cause of the ban. They're just like, hey, we're back. I think a lot of people I've seen have suspected that it's because they got followed by too many people too fast. And so Twitter was like, hey, you might be botting. And then it got suspended. I would love for any of Stomach to do anything at this point. They're back this week, which is cool. It's definitely Shocker's fault. Nielv should just be good looking and evil. That's his deal. That's the only thing I did. I was good looking and evil. Took a look. I got the error. This must be a karma for the Shinkenger card. I was lucky. One of the ones lucky to get an NA release. Got the Ram Driver Wednesday after your live. Do you like it? I love the Ram Driver. I'm going to be honest. I'll probably get Frappe. Still updating as what I've seen in the Ride Commons YouTube channel, and they even made a new character based on EG and Hawk. Ooh, sick. Bubblegum's a good one. Sachika will make them do trust exercises. I think this baseball episode is when Lucky and Hanto butt heads and learn to work together. I hope it's more than one episode. So is Hawk watching stuff tonight? No, we're not watching anything tonight. Mondays on Kick, we'll watch the new episodes. Are we still doing the bingo night? What's the bingo night? Zom becomes the next Sewell. That's the only way. And like, yeah, probably a little too gatesy. But like bringing Zom back and being like, Shoma, this is your grandfather who put all of this in motion. That would be the best way to do it. For fuck's sakes, Revice, what were your plans for this story? Remember Revice where we're like, okay, so the big bad is GIF, The Rock? Okay, oh no, he's dead. Okay, so the big bad is George. Okay, oh no, he's good again. Okay, so the main bad guy is Vice? Not really? Revice's third act is just crazy. It's just all disjointed. How do you think Gerudo will be introduced? I think no one will be like, look, we have a fucking robot that we made out of Goju Wolf's brother. We caught this fool and made him a robot. Zom resurrecting through Suga's cloning tech and wearing a Bitter Gabu driver. Dude, if Bitter Gabu, the suit, sticks around much longer, I'm gonna throw a fit. I jailbroke my Fire Stick so I can see TV Asahi live. That's sick. Do you know Japanese as well? Will we get the monster forms of Nielv and Longo in the next few months? We've seen Longo's monster form, right? And Nielv's. Yeah, they've both. They've both been in their monster forms when they take out their little thing. Got Frappies, and it's crazy how overall better toy than Blizzard Sorbet. Damn it. I need Frappies. I love it so much. I love that they're like, stir us more. What's your opinion if they kill Fram to give him a proper farewell for his story for his character? I can't read today. I don't know why. I think that's probably going to happen. If Honto doesn't accept Vram, if in the next 3 episodes, Honto and Vram aren't like buddy-buddy, and they don't accept each other, and they're just like, well, we're working together because we have to. Look me in the eyes. That fool is dead. Vram is dying, and Honto is going to be fighting like side by side when it happens. And then Honto's going to be like, but I loved him. He was such a good friend. It's my fault. Bank on it. Write it down. Bank on it. Still weird to me that riders and ride commons don't actually look like common riders. Show them to a non-common rider. It's because ride commons is just love in deep space, but with common riders. They aren't going for me and you. They're going for other people. This is a firmly sexy time video game, not for us. Bitter is so good though. Shut up. No, it's not. What's up with Revi wearing a suit in the OP? People speculate. Dude, Revi's OP is funny too. When Iki is like, and we're like, oh shit, he's gonna go evil, and then just nothing comes of it. Gotcha may have changed its rules all over the place, but my god, it still had a straight line plot. I'm sorry, but Revi's is my least favorite Reiwa series. Damn. Ram is dying. Bank on it. What's the best way on how to start a YouTube channel? Pick something you like and talk about it. Legit, pick something you like and talk about it. It could be anything. If you want to talk about Kamen Rider, watch the newest episode and be like, this episode was really good, and just talk about it. You'll learn all the other stuff around it by doing. You won't learn anything about doing YouTube before you start doing YouTube. I started YouTube with my phone. Legitimately. My phone and like a $35 microphone that I have here somewhere. Lad slander? Yes, always. How powerful do you think Gabu is going to be at the end, Saber level or Revi's level? I think Gabu is going to be a god. I think he's going to be the Granite god. And he's going to be Geats level. Geats 9 level. What's your opinion of the King Boom Boom Changer? I don't love this thing they're doing where they're just repainting changers with like something with my mustache. I don't like this thing they're doing where they're just repainting changers with like the other team's colors. They've done that a couple times for this crossover movies. I was like, what are they called? Probably way to end his story is to let Honto kill him in the way he feels happy and the one who... Dude, if Honto kills him, that would be nuts. If Lakia dies, I'm not getting the Valstrom gear. But you still can get Frappies if Lakia dies. It's the same thing. It's not just Lakia's driver. It's also Honto's now. Dude, the funniest part about last episode, by the way, is that Dente goes, oh yeah, I fixed this driver. It doesn't affect your heart anymore. And guess what? No one told Vram. Vram was busy killing babies while Dente was like, I fixed everything wrong with this driver. And Vram's just dying of a heart attack as he's killing babies. Dente's just like, well, did my job. All done. It doesn't have to do with the driver, you goober. He literally says it. In your opinion, what looks more of an anniversary show, Dawn Brothers or Zenkaiger? Zenkaiger. Can't stop fidgeting with the Bim Boom Robo. Dude, I have so many toys on my desk that I just fidget with all day. Me just showing you 2 Forza toys because I cleaned up my desk recently. Here. There's also... I don't fidget with this, but it also just sits on my desk. Some people actually watch Gabu for Rekia. What other Kamen series has that? I watched Forza for Meteor at one point. I was just like, I'm only watching the show for Meteor, and because I have to. There's a picture of Gabu's final form on the Reddit of just the head. Thoughts? Ooh, we just talked about it. It looks great. I think it looks incredible. I like the other final form that we've seen, over Gabu. This one's over Master Gabu, but I also think they both look sick. I love Grunkle Dente so much. Was that a Zodiac switch? Yeah. Yeah, one of my buying streams where stream got to pick everything I bought. You guys made me buy every Forze switch. That's why this is a claw machine filled up with every Forze switch. Except for the power-up switches. Those ones are back there because they didn't fit. But yeah, this is the last one. What's up, Kaiju Former? Also, I think the speaking of news, I didn't bring this up, but the Media Blasters have said that the Kamen Rider Trilogy DVD or the Kamen Rider Dyad DVD, I don't know, I forgot which one, the Blu-ray of the Trilogy or the Dyad one are getting mailed out either today or yesterday. So like if you bought those, then you're getting them. We need another buying stream before, you know what? I would love to do another buying stream. I will be 100% honest with you. The last time I hit up people for sponsorships, one, they just didn't make a lot of money from tokusatsu influencers, which is understandable. Two, these tariffs, you're not going to see a lot of sponsorships for places that would sponsor us, like buying and stuff. Like I would 100% understand if they would never want to do a sponsorship again because these tariffs go crazy and are going to affect them as well. Kiwami Arms is not my favorite final form for Kamen Rider Gaim. Nobody likes Kiwami Arms, which is a bummer because I love Kiwami Arms. You watched Connor Waffle's recent video about Power Rangers Mystic Force? No, I haven't. I will take the claw machine. Dude, I should raffle off the claw machine for like charity or something. So which one is which? I'm so confused. Over Gabu is purple and Over Master is orange. No, Over Master is the purple one. Over is orange. We do another buying stream. I'm going crazy on sending shit. I'm looking, so like pulling back the curtain, I do the buying stream for my birthday, which is in May. I am currently looking for a sponsor for the buying stream because it like might actually happen. So if I get to do another buying stream, it'll probably be a lot less money than we usually use. I usually get like a $500, you know, they usually go, here's $500, make it work with this, which I've done multiple times and it's been fantastic. If we do it this time, it might be a lot less money, but I would like to do it for my birthday. Kiwami Arms is great. Kiwami Arms is awesome. A lot of more people like Kachidoki Arms, which I get. Kachidoki Arms rules. Mayborn, let's go. Tariffs are going to suck, but not only that, being autistic, yeah, I hate Trump. I was like, wait, what do these two things have to do with each other? And then the last sentence, that made it make sense. I'm also on May as well. It's gonna be May. We're 1 month away, baby, from our birthdays. Let's go. But yeah, if you aren't following me on Kick, kick.com/Achilles, we watch the newest episodes of Tokusatsu every week on Mondays. Mondays at 5 p.m. So I'll catch you back here at Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is an hour and 20 minutes before right now. If you look at your clocks, be like, man, I got to watch Tokusatsu with Hawk on Mondays. Let's go. And then Wednesday, we're building the big-ass fan home Megazord right here. Friday, we're doing the Marvel Rivals Season 2 launch with Emma Frost, baby. So be here for that. Those are the streams for next week. There is a new YouTube video coming out tomorrow where I get to talk to a bunch of Power Rangers and ask them if they like any of their Power Ranger suits. And that's kind of fun. So that's on youtube.com/Achilles. Become a member there if you want to get videos early like that one. And I will see you. No, sorry. I was like, I'm still missing something. Please say goodnight to everyone in the chat. You've all been fantastic. I'm going to say goodnight to you right here, and I will see you next time.